So today we're going to be learning about the frames in visual arts. So what are the frames? The frames are a set of lenses which can be used to generate different meanings and interpretations of artworks. There are 4 frames. They are subjective, postmodern, structural and cultural. We'll be using Guernica by Picasso to understand how to use the frames. The structural frame. The structural frame involves the communications of signs and symbols, the artist's use of colour, line, shape, texture, tone and composition, as well as techniques and materials. In this artwork, you can see the use of harsh, sharp lines is repeated throughout the work. These lines and shapes convey a hardness or broken nature to the event in the painting. The composition is skewed towards the middle. A lot of figures and subjects are placed on top of each other in the centre of the painting, conveying a kind of chaos. The lack of colour coincides with these emotions and hardness in the work. The cultural frame. The cultural frame involves cultural views and meanings, political stance, significant events within the work, signs, symbols, and beliefs or spirituality. This artwork was done in response to the Spanish Civil War, but was specifically the bombing of Guernica. This is a significant cultural event which is portrayed in this painting. There are 2 main cultural symbols, the bull and the horse. They can be seen as Spanish cultural symbols. Their suffering within the picture could be seen as representational of the suffering of the Spanish culture during this war and particularly this bombing. The subjective frame. The subjective frame involves emotions and personal opinions. What is your first impression? How does it make you feel? What were the artist's intentions? Does it remind you of anything? And is this positive or is it negative? Overall, this artwork brings forward a feeling of sadness. The repetition of the devastated, sad and panicking facial expressions, as well as the chaotic composition, tell us how to feel. These obvious strong emotions within the work transfer to the audience. There are also symbols of mourning and loss which further provoke an emotional response from the viewer. These symbols are evident in the crying mother holding her deceased child in the left-hand side. The postmodern frame. This is to do with ideas that challenge the mainstream. What is challenged, and is this artwork mainstream? Picasso is using his work to challenge the events of the time. He is using his work to protest the Spanish Civil War. It is a direct reaction to the bombing of Guernica and is challenging the events of the time. So I hope you all learned how to use the frames as lenses to look deeper into artworks and to pry out their inner meanings. You can watch this video as many times as you like and feel free to take notes as well. This information will be important for next lesson as we'll be using the frames to interpret artworks ourselves.